right, so we actually have certain types of notations we use to distinguish between parameters and statistics. More on this on page 285 of your textbook. But we typically use Greek letters to denote parameters. Greek letters are like alpha, beta, gamma, delta, all of your fraternity and sorority letters. Latin letters to denote statistics. Your Latin letters, for those of you who don't know, those are just the letters of your alphabet that you use every day. That's A, B, C, D, etc. So here goes some symbols that you should know for the statistic versus the parameter. So if you're talking about the mean of a sample is X bar. If you're talking about a population, the mean of a population is mu. We've already gone through some of these. Standard deviation, sample is S. Parameter, population, sigma. Correlation, everybody take a minute, make sure you know what correlation is. That's R. So the statistic is R. And the parameter is rho. And I actually, at the current moment, cannot remember what that symbol looks like. So I'm just going to write in rho. You can find it in page 285 of your book. Regression coefficients. So this is your slope and your y-intercept. So your slope we learned is B1 and your y-intercept is B0. We learned that last chapter. We haven't quite dealt with the parameters of that yet, but when we do get to parameters, we just use beta 1 for slope and beta 0 for y-intercept. And proportion. A proportion is the same thing as a percentage. This is when you're dealing with categorical data. Like, for example, what if I want to estimate the percent of all students at Mooresville who have blue eyes? So I take a sample and I see what's the percent in the sample that have blue eyes. I would call that P. And the corresponding parameter, you might think in Greek, the Greek letter for P is pi, but we actually don't use pi because we already use pi for something else. So actually what we do is the statistic, we call it P hat, and the population, we call it plain old P to distinguish between the two. So that's a different use of the P hat than we've had in the past.